And joining us now is the new HRD Minister Kapil Sibal. Kapil Sibal, thank you very much for joining us. And first of all, many congratulations on getting such an important portfolio, crucial for the future not only of the whole of India but also of students. Today you saw those pictures of students protesting violently in Patna because they wanted their results to be re-evaluated. And we've been using a phrase on this channel regularly. Has this become a punishment-free society in India?
Well, as you know that the HRD ministry has very little to do with the protests that are going on in Patna. That must be in respect of a state examination. And it's the state government that has to take a view in the matter. And I don't think that the central government comes into the picture. But you do have instances like this throughout the country. And I think that as long as the community has confidence in the examination system, you will see a petering out of these protests. It's only when people don't have confidence in the system that you have mass protests like this. So we need to build that confidence within the community to the examination system that we have.
And also, we have shots of their faces. Something I feel should be done when you can identify the people who are creating the damage. Anyway, just moving on, I'm going to ask you an unfair question because it's early days for you. Your agenda, give me the first change you'd like to see in the HRD ministry.
Well, I think our first agenda ought to be that the right to education bill that is in the Rajya Sabha should be passed as quickly as possible. Because I think that's something that has been pending. Matter has been debated, it's been passed by the cabinet. It's gone to the standing committee and the bill is ready for being passed, and I think that's what should be done.
And a lot of people are going to ask you this. What's your view on quotas, particularly on educational establishments?
No, as far as quotas are concerned, as you know, in government institutions, we have taken the quota issue forward and implemented it, and now we want to make sure that that's implemented within the time frame that was given to the government institutions.
Now, it's a slightly controversial area. Are you going to allow foreign universities to come into the country? Many say there's a need for it to raise standards. Are you going to allow foreign universities?
Yes, I think that we need to open up the education sector in a big way. At the same time, we must make sure that there are enough controls and regulation to ensure that foreign universities do not exploit the situation or do not charge the kind of fees that they do in their universities, which makes it impossible for our children to actually afford taking up courses in these institutions. So, subject to a regulatory framework, certainly we would like to open up the education sector and allow foreign universities to come in. And we do have a bill which was drafted, which is not yet got cabinet approval. And I think if that in substance what is in the bill is passed, I think that everybody will be happy with the terms on which we are going to allow foreign universities. But there's one thing I'd like to say, that in India the most important thing is access, equity and quality. And in the education sector, as long as we ensure access, we ensure equity and we ensure quality, I think that we can move forward in a much quicker way and far more effectively.
That's a major statement. I think it's a major sign of liberalization. You could have Oxford and Harvard coming to India as long as they don't charge too much. One last question. I know it's a bit unfair, you can't do everything, but can you do anything to protect, you've seen what's happened in Australia, to protect our students overseas?
Whenever there's an incident, our Indian students abroad, what we do is that we quickly get into action and communicate diplomatically and otherwise with the government and the state in which that has happened, and seek to sensitize them to the concerns of the Indian community. And so far we have had governments respond to us positively, and I'm sure through diplomatic means and through dialogue these things can be actually ironed out and dealt with effectively.
Kapil Sibal, thank you very much for answering all those questions. I know it's early days in your ministry, but those were very clear, and you've already obviously sorted things out in your mind. Thanks very much.